a 5-time All-Star, NBA Hall of Famer, one of the 50 greatest players, our second member of the all-time 50 team in the NBA. We had on earlier Lenny Wilkins, Sam Jones. How you doing, Sam?
I'm doing fine. Good afternoon to all of you.
Lenny said to tell you that, boy, you were tough to guard because you could stop on a dime, and he remembers the time during his rookie year you told him, don't they ever let you shoot?
Well, that's a start dissension.
So we had trash talking back in the 50s and 60s even then?
Oh, yes, we did.
And how would you rate yourself as a trash talker?
Well, only to Wilt Chamberlain. That was my special guy because I loved him and I thought he was a tremendous player, and he'd always get out a little bit late, and I would just tell him too late as it went over his fingertips.
Oh. You were one of the most athletic shooting guards of your time, and they basically said you basically changed the position, and other people like Jordan have copied you.
Now, repeat that, please.
They said that back when you started playing, the two guards weren't that athletic, the shooting guards, and then you had such great athleticism, you revolutionized the position, that you basically opened it up for the Michael Jordans, the Dwayne Wades.
Well, I really don't know. I came in, I was almost 6'5", and when I reported to the Celtics, they said they'd never had a guard that big, and it sounded good to me because I'd always played guard, but I really enjoyed that spot. I played it all the way through high school and college, so I was sort of used to it.
Now, when I think of Sam Jones, I think of the bank shot. I shot after shot after shot, and they always went in. How did that start?
Well, it started really my freshman year in high school. And our coach liked for us to make layups off the side when you're coming in for a layup on the side. Never at the top of the key, always on the side. But down the center, you had to shoot for the rim. And I started practicing because I was making layups consistently on both sides. So I started shooting little jump shots from about 5 feet out, and I kept moving back to a distance where I was not throwing the ball. And consistently, the ball went in after every time we just go in and go in. I said, this is going to be my shot. And so I kept that shot all the way through college and all the way through the pros. But it was so funny when I got to the pros, they didn't know what I was doing.
Nobody does that, or very seldom. John Wooden's UCLA team occasionally would bank shots. Are you surprised more people don't use the bank shot?
I'm very much surprised. John Wooden, he made all of his players shoot off the backboard. Every one of them that came through him knew how to shoot off the backboard. But I'm surprised that many coaches don't copy successful coaches. And who can be any successful than John Wooden? And nobody did that, and that surprised me. And so I'm surprised that not too many kids are shooting off the backboard. But this year I've seen Dwight Howard of all shooters shooting off the backboard. Dwayne Wade is using the backboard. And, of course, Tim Duncan has been using the backboard ever since he's been in the league.
You're down in Florida. Have you watched a lot of those Miami Heat games?
I watch more of I go to the Orlando Magic games because only hour and 45 minutes away, but I watched the Heat game, yes. Let me ask you a question. Yes, I watched the Heat game because this year I didn't think they would be successful.
Why is that? Because
I think that when you have three superstars playing together, they've got to learn each other's weaknesses and strengths. And I think it's going to take a year, but my gosh, when they start gelling, they're going to be real good.
Now, those Boston Celtic teams had their share of superstars, and they somehow all coexisted.
But it's hurting me now. It hurt me really badly. Dwayne Wade and not Dwayne Wade, but Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. But it hurt me tremendously when they got rid of Kendrick Perkins. I thought he was the man that could take them all the way to the finals and make sure they win the championship.
What's all this Perkins love? You're like the fifth person to say this. This Green is a lot better offensive player, and he's more athletic. Perkins just seems like he just plays defense.
That's what you need. That's what you need. We have three people that can score. You don't need any more than three people on the court at one time, and Rondo can make points also. So now you got four. And Rondo is to get the ball to everybody, but defense win championships. All you got to do is talk to Bill Russell. defense win championships. I rode him for 12 years, right on his back. And I always said to Russell, you do the defense, we'll do the shooting.
Now, if Wilt Chamberlain had come along nowadays, he would have been like LeBron James on steroids or something. I mean, he would have dwarfed LeBron. And is that about right?
Well, LeBron James reminds me of Magic Johnson in a way. When you have a person that tall and that strong, and could put the ball on the floor and go to the hoop, whoever thought in my day you would see a 6'9" guard, or you see a player like LeBron James who's playing today? I was hoping he played football. He probably could play football, be a tight end if he wanted to be, or wide receiver.
You said that Wilt Chamberlain could have been the greatest player in NBA history. Who do you think is the greatest?
Well, I'll never go against Bill Russell because what he did, 13 years and 11 NBA championships, took us to the finals every year in the Eastern Division. And we went to 11 NBA championships when I played with him, and we won 10. So I've got to go with Russell.
Do you know that Lenny Wilkins could have been your point guard, that the Celtics recruited him after the Hawks were folding, the St. Louis Hawks?
They're moving to Atlanta. When
they were moving to Atlanta, and he basically decided to go play somewhere else. Can you imagine you and Lenny in the same backcourt?
Well, I love Lenny. Lenny was a hell of a player, and he was quick. We knew he was going left, but we still couldn't stop him. He never went to his right. But just a tremendous player. We watched him when he was playing for Providence, and I'm sure that Red would love to have had Lenny Wilkins on the Celtics team.
Now, if we get you out on a basketball court, can you still bank them in?
No, I can bank them in only on short shots, about 10 feet, no more, and no jumping at all.
Okay, so no three-pointers for you?
Oh, no, the three-pointers are gone.
You wish you had the three-pointer back in the day?
Well, I don't know. I might have shot too much. But I complimented Ray Allen not for just breaking Reggie Miller's record, but I had a chance to talk with him, and I've never seen a guy shoot so quickly. The ball is coming and look like it's leaving his hand as soon as it gets there. There's no way I could have shot a ball that quickly. And Ray has done a fine job, and I'm so glad that he's playing with the Celtics.
Was it tough playing in Boston in the late 50s, early 60s, being a black player there? Was there a lot of racial strife, or did they love you guys there?
Well, I think if you played any professional sports in Boston, it was okay. But you still had sections that you had to know your place. And I want you to understand your place. You had the Italian section, you had the Irish section, you had the white section, you had the black section, you had the Jewish section. So you got 5 sections. Back then, we didn't have too many Latinos that was living in Boston. But we knew our place, but usually we got invited to all of those places because we did play with the Celtics.
What was the best of the Celtic teams that you played on?
Oh, gosh, why would you ask me? See, my answer is all of them. Because when you win championships after championships, even with new players coming in, and as we were getting older, we still accomplished what we set out to do. There was one team that stayed together all the time. Now, I don't know what would happen as free agency, but I always said every year was the best team I ever played on.
What do you think what's going on in Miami? Do you think that they need to make a change of coach, either Riley to basically take over or bring someone else in, or you think this guy can lead them to a championship?
No, I think they need to stay pat. They still got to solve what they're doing. There are other players on that team that can shoot. You got LeBron James and Dwayne Wade has got to realize to get the ball to the open man, don't force shots, because if those other players start shooting and helping out, they're going to be a much greater team. And when they find that out, I feel sorry for a lot of other teams.
You think Red Auerbach could have coached LeBron and Bosh and Wade?
Well, I think Red Auerbach could have coached anybody because he was a no-nonsense guy. And he had good work ethics for his team. In fact, if he had that team right now, they'd probably be 10 or 15 games in front of everybody.
Because, I mean, this guy, he managed the personalities in Boston, and they knew he was in charge. And I think the problem in Miami is the coach isn't getting these guys to realize that he's in charge here, and he's sitting here saying, well, they're crying in the locker room. Red Auerbach would have never said that Bill Russell was crying in the locker room or Sam Jones.
No, because Bill Russell would have jumped on all of us for Red Auerbach. And that's the way we played. We took criticism. But when you're winning, there is no criticism. I am sure that if they can find a leader on that team, Dwayne Wade has got to be the leader, and he can make everybody perform. Or if you want to release that or relent that to LeBron James, he could be the leader. But you can't have but one leader on the court. But the coach is always the leader. And anybody who's playing basketball should have enough pride not to even think about the coach. Listen, we're on the floor. We're playing. Let's get it done. And this is where it comes from. Cousy, Bill Sharman, John Havlicek, they all wanted the same thing, and that is to be successful. And I'm sure Miami wants the same thing.
Exactly. And I was so happy that Bill Sharman got that award at the NBA All-Star Game weekend at the brunch.
I love Bill Sharman. He taught me a lot about basketball. Bob Cousy taught me a lot about basketball. Bill Russell taught me a lot about basketball. I had the greatest show on earth just watching them play and learning how they played the game. And then I knew that when I came into the game, I would be ready to play with that team.
And that's why you got 10 rings for each of your 10 fingers. Thank you very much.
I got 10 rings because of Bill Russell and Red Auerbach. He recruited people that played the way he wanted them to play. Maybe not the best people, but the people that could fit in to what we were trying to do.
Thank you very much, Sam. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.